Hi guys, it's me. I got my reading glasses on this morning because I'm going to do some reading. Anyway, this is Rusty in Texas, Central Texas right now. It's 10:53 a.m. Central Standard Time. Temperature about 87 degrees already. It's going to be another hot day in Central Texas. This is July the 31st, last day of July 2016. I've had some comments. Yesterday I did the video about the gun show and had a few comments about the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms. And anyway, I happen to have a little booklet that I've kept and carried around for years, and every now and then I refer to it, and it's right here. It says the Constitution of the United States. And what it is, it's just a little booklet that, you can read the Constitution, all the amendments and all that stuff. But what I thought I would do this morning is refresh my thinking, because I haven't looked at this in several months. Probably need to look at it more often. But anyway, in the foreword it says, in the last quarter of the 18th century, no nation in the world was governed with separated and divided powers, providing checks and balances on the exercise of authority by those who governed. A first step towards such a result was taken with the Declaration of Independence in 1776, which was followed by the Constitution drafted in Philadelphia in 1787. In 1791, the Bill of Rights was added. Each had antecedents or a history going back to the English Bill of Rights, the Magna Carta, and beyond. The work of 55 men in Philadelphia in 1787 was another blow to the concept of the divine right of kings, and that went way back. The freedoms flowing from the Constitution created a land of opportunities, and ever since then, discouraged and oppressed people from every part of the world have made their way to our shore and still are. There were others too, educated, affluent, seeking a new life and new freedoms in a new land. This is the meaning of our Constitution. The principal goal of the Bicentennial Commission is to stimulate and appreciate an understanding of our national heritage. This lesson cannot be learned without first reading and grasping the meaning of this remarkable document. The first, that's key, the first of its kind in all human history, and that's very true. In fact, it was referred to, the period at that time was referred to as the Grand Experiment. And I just love the Constitution of the United States of America, because, how could you take an oath of allegiance to support the Constitution of the United States of America and do some of the things that our politicians do? I do not know. But just the introduction. We, the people of the United States, now we the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, established justice, a rule of law, ensured domestic tranquility, no riots, provide for the common defense, military, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, our grandchildren, do ordain and establish the Constitution for the United States of America. It almost chokes me up to read it. It does. This should be read at the start of every school day in the United States of America. It should, I promise you. In the Pledge of Allegiance, they want to ban it, or they may have already, I don't know. But, you got all these sections that delegate the powers to the different branches of government. And, basically we've got a three-legged stool, and the stool can't stand if any of them don't function. You've got the legislative, the executive, and the judicial, those three branches of our government. And it has worked well for over 200 and basically 50 years. We have modified it and amended it and so forth and so on. And I'm not going to get into a lot of detail about, all the sections and so forth, but basically it says that any powers that aren't delegated to the federal government reside in the states. And it was pretty simple. I mean, basically the states could rule their own nest and should. It says the executive power shall be vested in a president of the United States. He shall hold office during the term of 4 years, and together with the vice president chosen for the same term, be elected as follows. And it talks about each state and all this stuff, and then it describes the qualifications for running for the president and so forth. But anyway, then we get into the amendments. Basically, the first 10 amendments are the Bill of Rights, and the Bill of Rights basically explains or more clearly defines what the Constitution is all about. And Amendment 1, it says, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, in other words, stay out of the religious business, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. Stay out of religion, but you can practice any religion you want to without fear of the government interference. Or abridging the freedom of speech. In other words, if I want to say, fuck you, nigger, cocksucking bastard, I can say that. Now, that might be offensive to a lot of people. I may lose some subscribers over that, but that's the way it is. I mean, freedom of speech should not be abridged. And it says, are abridging the freedom of speech or of the press. Now, the press at that time was very, very small. Okay, I don't think there were more than probably 2 or 3 newspapers in existence. But be that as it may, the printed word had the power of the Word of God, if you believe in that. And even today, the printed word in the New York Times, the Los Angeles Times, and some other large newspaper, if people read that in the paper, by God, that's fact. And unfortunately, the freedom of the press has kind of run amok, and sometimes the truth is not in them. It says, are the right of people to peaceably assemble. And that's something that is definitely true. You have to be able to assemble and express your opinions and reflect the ideas prevalent at the time, of that day, of that period. You have to be able to exchange ideas. Now people live in fear of city. You can go into any place. I've done it and still do it occasionally, is go in somewhere and bring up religion and politics and stuff, and everybody just shuts up. Say, well, there's 2 things you shouldn't talk about, religion and politics. In my opinion, there's 2 things you should talk about, and that's religion and politics. Religion thrives by people not asking questions about their religion. Why this, why that? Could that really have happened? And politics runs amok because people don't question the authority of the politicians. Like, why'd you do that? Or we could have done it another way. Or let's take a vote on that. But and then again, it goes on to say, and to petition the government for redress of grievances. In other words, if we don't like the way things are being done, we can bitch and get things changed. Because it's we, the people, folks. It's not they, the government, it's we, the people. But we've kind of lost, over the years, and it's been many years, we've lost that. We don't, even if you're politically active, even if you vote in every election from the city, county, state, federal on up, you're not going to have a lot of impact. You got to have some way to get the word out. You have to impact hundreds of thousands or millions of people to get things turned around a little bit. Now, what needs to be turned around now? Well, I could probably change our race relations overnight. There's no race relations. There's media exaggeration that causes a lot of that, could be eliminated. But anyway, Amendment 2, and this is pretty clear, and I'll read it word for word, and if anybody misunderstands it, please leave a comment. The Second Amendment to the Constitution of the United States clearly states, and I'm going to read it word for word, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Is there a problem with that? A well-regulated militia, military, being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people, us, me, to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. And the reason that amendment's there is because the writers of the Constitution, and subsequently the first 10 amendments, the Bill of Rights, realized that one of the reasons that kings and dictatorships could exist was because the people could not resist effectively. You know, throwing rocks is not going to get it, okay? Now, if you go out there with a M16 and get serious, you know, at least, I'm not saying you should do it. I'm not saying that anarchy or revolution is a way to solve any issue. You know, peaceful resistance, as Gandhi did against one of the largest empires in the world at that time, or the largest empire, is successful. Peaceful resistance is always successful. Even in the Vietnam War, the protests that were breaking windows and doing all kind of crap, blowing up buildings and stuff, that was foolish. That got nothing accomplished. You can't resist a government with its military by force, period. Because when you start down that path, you're going to lose every time, every single time. It ain't going to happen. You know, if you throw rocks, they're going to throw little hand grenades. You throw hand grenades, they're going to throw bigger bombs. You know, you bring a tank, they're going to bring a missile. You bring a missile, they're going to bring something else. You're not going to win it. Forget that shit. Peaceful, passive resistance is the way to get things done, but you've got to do it in large groups. The question is how do you get the word out? How do you form these large groups? And I have to tell you, here's a simple example. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. One bite at a time. How do you form peaceful, passive resistance that's effective? One individual at a time. One individual at a time. And the next thing you'll have 100, 1,000, 1,000,000, 10 million, 20 million. Do politicians listen to those people? You damn right they do. You damn right they do. They don't want you kicking down their door and coming in and stealing all their stuff. But anyway, it's very clear what the Second Amendment says. The Third Amendment says no soldier shall, in time of peace, be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner, nor in time of war, but in a manner to be prescribed by law. The Amendment number 4, and I'm going to be brief on these, I don't want to go too long, but the right of the people to be secure in their possession, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by an oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. You know, we've kind of loosened up on that one. We need to tighten that one up a little bit. You know, no person shall be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime unless on a presentment or indictment of a grand jury, except in cases arising in the land or naval forces or in the militia, when in actual service in time of war or public danger, nor shall any person be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb, nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be witness against oneself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process or law, nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. We've kind of let eminent domain go wild too. We need to try to rein that in. And then it goes on. But the first 10 amendments are the Bill of Rights. And extremely, of course, I've scanned all these amendments and stuff before I started this video. They're all well thought out. They're all very meaningful, and they all have a reason for being there. And having said all that, this is a year of an election. We have a fairly clear choice of each politician is very clearly defined. Trump is a Second Amendment advocate. Okay? Is he a pure constitutionalist? Who knows? I don't know that. But he is totally for the Second Amendment. He would support that. On the other hand, you've got Hillary Clinton. She's not. She believes that guns, particularly assault weapons, should be banned. Do I think that assault weapons should be banned? If you want to ban assault weapons, you want to ban those that are fully automatic. Period. In my opinion. Now, the other assault weapons, the semi-automatics, there's no difference between those semi-automatic so-called assault weapons and a deer rifle that's semi-automatic. Okay? There's none. Semi-automatic is just what it is. Pull the trigger. Pow, 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 pow. Full automatic. Pow, 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 pow. That's the difference. Okay? Does a man need a fully automatic weapon? No, not necessarily. But does he have the right to have one? Answer, yes. What could he use it for? It could be a hobby. Some people like to go fishing. It's all individual choice, and that's what this country's founded on. Should we change that? I hope not. Because go look at other countries. Take a trip to Mexico. Take a trip to China. Take a trip to India. Do yourself a favor. Get out of your shell. But, again, read when you get it. And you know what's amazing? A lot of people don't even have this at home. I know they don't. I know I could call my sisters right now. They don't have it. They might somewhere. I doubt it. But how many times have they read it? Who knows? How many times has anybody read it? But I'm going to read this one more time and I'll end the video because I know it's gone on long enough. The Constitution of the United States, one more time. We the people, we, me and you, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, rules of law, ensure domestic tranquility, peace in your homes, your streets, going to the grocery store, coming back. Provide for the common defense. In other words, we're all in this together, folks. We're on this team. Promote the general welfare. We want jobs. We want health care. We want all these things. And secure the blessings of liberty. In other words, I feel free. I can speak out. I can say I don't like Obama. I can say nigger. I can say all these goddamn things. I got freedom, okay? I got liberty. In other countries, you can't do that. And that's why we're here. And secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and posterity, our grandchildren. That's so important. We don't want to completely use up this great country. We want something left over for our grandchildren. Do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. And if that doesn't choke you up, then you're not human. Get out of here. But be that as it may, that's what it's all about right there. The Constitution of the United States. We the people. How wonderful. Anyway, having said that, it got me started yesterday when I went to the gun show. These people are exercising their Second Amendment rights. I know a lot of liberals and other people would love to shut down all that crap. I'm not. I'm not for it. Am I paranoid? No. It could be a little bit, and a little bit of paranoid will keep you alive. a lot paranoid, they'll put you away. Anyway, this is Rusty 789609 in Central Texas. You guys have a great day. And God, Buddha, Great Spirit, and everybody else bless the USA. Adios, amigos. Oh, thumbs up. Adios. Carpe diem. Bye, bye. I did it that right. Bye.